Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and it is Wednesday, June 2nd. We have got a bunch of new champions coming to Raid Shadow Legends with update 4.30 dropping soon. I'm going to get you a live first reaction to these champions. I have not looked at them yet. I'm going to scroll down and we're going to go over them live together. I'll let you know which ones I think are good, which ones are trash, and get you the grades as best I can. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, we'll quickly scan through this together, and then down here you can see we've got some new champions to cover. So update 4.30 highlights. A new update is due to arrive shortly, and as always, we have prepared a quick recap of things you can expect. First of all, saved teams that will let you adjust the behavior of your champions in auto battles, including multi-battles, and do it as far as choosing which skills they prioritize or avoid altogether. Playtime rewards will receive an update and offer more resources as your level increases. That is amazing. And then finally, we have got a pack of shiny new champions for you to enjoy, which is what we'll be covering mainly in this video. And including one handsome Devil of a Dwarf for the June Fusion event, and a number of quality of life features. Yeah, remember the new dwarf I covered in yesterday's video is going to be launching next week. I believe June 7th is when that's going to officially launch, so that'll be coming soon. And read on if you want to find out more about these features. Okay, save teams is one of the features we promised in our latest What's Next in Raid video, and it will allow you to pre-make teams for both PvE and PvP battles. I did have some people confused in my comment sections and in streams saying they thought it was just for arena, but it is for PvE and PvP battles. You can do the preset teams for both modes. Better yet, it will let you tweak skill prioritization for each champion before you send them into auto battle. It will become available after reaching level 30, which, depending on how active people are, I think level 30 takes about 1 to 3 weeks. Okay, the basics are simple enough. You can access the feature by tapping the team setup button on the champion selection screen before the battle. From there, it's a familiar ride where you will fill specific slots of whichever champions you want. Just mind the leader, as always. In total, you'll have 10 save teams for PvE, and then 10 save teams for PvP. All right, each save team can be named. That's awesome. So you'll be able to pick and choose when going between different game modes, and you no longer have to use any specific save team. You can delete it at any point. Then we've got skill instructions. Aside from the sheer convenience of having pre-made teams ready by tap, you can also adjust skill priorities. Okay, we know that. Well, basically, I don't have to do this word for word. You'll have default opener, and then abilities you can lock out. First, second, third choices. So basically, what we've always wanted in the game is the player is going to have customization for how they want their champions to perform while on auto. So it's going to be one of the biggest changes to Raid, in my opinion, especially if they implement it properly. This is big. We've got playtime rewards update. So when the update hits, playtime rewards will increase with your player level. That's the level that you see up there on the top left of the screen. You can see Chofly Chosen level 96. So when they say like level, that's what they're referring to. Okay, so level 1 to 30, no changes. Level 31 to 50, we're gonna get more silver, a different potion, and then more silver. Okay, sure. It's not a huge amount, but more rewards is more rewards. Then level 50 plus. Okay, so you're gonna reach the max at level 50. So it's not gonna keep scaling up to like level 85, level 95. It's going to stop at level 50. You're going to hit the max. And it's just basically better potions and a little bit more silver. But that is significant. It's 55k, up from 7,500. That is, it's almost 10 times more. Again, not a huge amount, but more is more, and it'll add up over the course of a few months for sure. And then first, to kick off us grading these new champions, we finally get to see how the books affect the fusion champion here, Herndig, which is what I was talking about. It's hard to grade them accurately until we can see that. So, okay, let's see if I was right on my predictions here. So, yeah, we're just getting damage on the A1. That kind of makes sense. We're going to be booking the A2 to a 3-turn cooldown, getting those chances to 100%. Makes sense. And we can book the A3 to a 4-turn cooldown. I didn't know if that was going to be 4 or 5, but we do get the 2 cooldown books. As far as books, it's going to be 6 books. Plus 5 is 11, plus 4 is 15. Okay, that's kind of a rip. I don't like it when they go over 11 or 12 books or so. When we get up to like 14, 15, A little bit rough. So I am a little bit disappointed. I would have coupled the A1. I would have went 5, 5, 10 or something and combined that to 3 books. And then maybe combined the damage buff on the A2 to make that into 1 book. So that would have got us down, you know, a little bit. But yeah, that's a little bit rough to be at 14. That's definitely unfortunate. But yeah, we went over this one yesterday, and a lot of you kind of already know the kit, so I won't grade this one from scratch again. But I did ask on stream and had people vote, and the viewer consensus was somewhere around B plus A minus for grading this guy here. So yeah, worth going for. It definitely has some solid potential here. The A2 is going to break defense and accuracy, big versions of both on a 3-turn cooldown AoE attack. So definitely some potential here to get some consistent value, and I do think he'll be worth going for as long as you've got the resources and it's realistic for you to do so. But now we're getting into the ones that I have not seen yet. We've got Lady Kimmy for the Shadowkin, so another legendary here, a support champion for Shadowkin. A1, attack one enemy, then attack the enemy with the highest turn meter. Okay, we'll attack the same enemy twice if the initial target also has the highest turn meter. The second hit has a 50% chance that we can book up to 60 of decreasing the turn meter by 15%. Really good for boss fights, like Fire Knight type stuff. We're going to hit it twice and then lower its turn meter. So if you had her high speed in a situation like the Fire Knight, you could constantly suppress the turn meter. But it is a single hitter, which is a little bit unfortunate by the default. But I guess in a boss fight, you are always getting the multi-hit because you've only got the one enemy. Then we've got an AoE that we can book to a 3-turn cooldown. We can book this to 100% chance of decreasing accuracy. They're really coming out with lots of champions that decrease accuracy. And the big version of decreased speed. Okay, so very good for Faction Wars. AoE, 3-turn cooldown, big version of decreased speed, amazing ability for waves. Also, 75% chance that we can book that to 100 of decreasing the target's turn meter. So kind of like a Lysandra ability, where you've got speed and turn meter manipulation. It's definitely different than Lysandra, but the same kind of thought process there. So yeah, I like that A2. It's amazing for waves and Faction Wars. Then we've got remove 1 random buff from each enemy. Okay, AoE, buff manipulation, always good. Then we can book that to 100% chance of placing a block buffs for 2 turns if an enemy has a buff removed. Also, fill turn meter of all allies by 15% and place increased accuracy and increased speed. That's pretty good. I mean, that is, obviously we can't get that to a 3-turn cooldown. That would be broken, but it does get to a 4-turn cooldown. That's pretty crazy. When you've got buff strip, block buffs, increase accuracy, increase speed. Yeah, that's definitely a lot going on there. That's super crucial. So, okay, Spirit Flux is definitely good. Whenever this champion places a debuff on an enemy, also increases or decreases that enemy's turn meter by 5% for each debuff placed. And she can place the block buffs and the decreased speed, the decreased accuracy. Okay. Whenever the champion or an ally receives a debuff, fill their turn meter by 5% for each debuff received, and increase ally speed in Doom Tower battles by 30%. Yeah, definitely good. I would give this champion an A. Yeah, I think Lady Kimmy is going to be a solid champion. There's lots of utility going on there. Really amazing for waves. Going to be awesome for Shadowkin Faction Wars in both boss fights and waves. We can't see the base stats, but definitely about A minus, pretty solid champion here. Then we've got, oh geez, there's a 0% chance I'm gonna say this right. It's like Nobel, Noble, something like that. You get the gist. You can let me know how wrong I am down in the comments. But anyway, another Shadowkin legendary, attack 1 enemy. 40% chance of decreasing the duration of 2 random buffs on the target for 1 turn. If the target's under fear or true fear, debuff has a 65% chance of placing or of decreasing duration of all the target's buffs by 1 turn instead. It's A1 buff manipulation. We'll take it. Attack 1 enemy will ignore 30% of the target's defense. Fill the champion's turn meter by 25% after the attack. If the target has fear or true fear debuff, decreases the duration or the cooldown of their A3, which is dismay, by 1 turn. We can book this to a 2-turn cooldown, it looks like. Okay, so definitely a damage dealer here. And then we've got an AoE for a 3-turn cooldown that decreases each enemy's turn meter by 20%. If there are any enemies under fear or true fear, will also fill this champion's turn meter by the amount. So this guy is definitely qualifier heavy, which is a little bit unfortunate. But with a 2-turn cooldown, ignore defense can definitely crank out damage in the right situation, and has some A1 buff manipulation. So the passive, whenever an enemy's turn meter is fully depleted by any champion, has a 50% chance of placing a true fear debuff on that enemy for 1 turn. Okay. Again, very qualifier heavy. Could really snowball into getting insane value. But this one I'm going to go like B minus, just because I like legendaries to have a little bit more value standalone. But could be super impactful if you're able to actually have the champions to build around this. But overall, I'd go like B minus. All right, this one I can say we've got Siege Hulk here. Okay, A1. We've got, first of all, Ogre and Tribe Epic. We're into the epics now. A1 decrease target's turn meter by 15% if targets under a decreased defense or a decreased speed. 1 enemy, not a multi-hitter unfortunately for Fire Knight, but once you get the shield down, again, would be pretty good versus the Fire Knight. 50% increase attack on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. 3-turn cooldown booked, 100% chance of defense break. They're really adding a lot of defense break to the game. So that's going to kind of shape the value of certain champions, but I mean, it is AoE defense break and then buffing the attack of your whole team. So I mean, not bad here. Then we've got the Ascended is place 30% increased crit rate and 30% increased crit damage on this champion. Then attacks 1 enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a decreased speed on the target for 2 turns. Okay, and then ally crit rate in Doom Tower battles. It's AoE defense break on a 3-turn cooldown, so I mean he can't be that bad. So the rest of the stuff here is a little bit underwhelming, but it is a 1 turn meter reduct, which is good. So I'm gonna go again like B minus. Definitely an above average epic, but not like S tier. So yeah, B minus I'd say. Then we've got Gory, an epic from the Shadowkin. Attack 1 enemy 2 times, place an extra hit if targets under a freeze. Heals his champion by 10% of the damage inflicted. Pretty qualifier heavy, not a whole lot of value there. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit can be booked to a 100% chance of placing a freeze. Okay, kind of like Shiramani type ability there. Not bad. 3-turn cooldown with some CC. Okay, attack 1 enemy, will ignore defense and shield. Will also ignore 50% of the target's defense if they are under a freeze. We'll ignore increased defense, and then if they're under freeze, which he does place himself here with the A2. Okay, could be a hard-hitting attack champion here when you get that stuff to line up. Place a counterattack buff and a 50% increased attack on this champion for 2 turns if they get a kill. That'd be pretty good to get counterattack, because the A1 can keep kind of popping off there with multi-hitters and kind of snowball a little bit. Passive counterattack with Cold Comfort, which is the A1, whenever an enemy places a CC ability on an ally. Okay. So, I'd say, like, again, B minus. I could see the CC making sense versus waves and stuff. So, decent, but nothing crazy. Alright, and we're getting a new Void Epic for the Lizardmen. Scathix, we've got the A1. Attack 1 enemy with a chance to place the big version of decreased speed for 2 turns. That's pretty solid on an A1. AoE that can be booked to a 3-turn and booked to a 100% chance of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy. Stealing. AoE buff steal. That's not super common in the game. AoE buff steal. So, yeah, pretty solid. Then remove all buffs, or all debuffs from all allies. So we've got an AoE cleanse. Then place block debuffs and a shield on all allies for 2 turns. Wow. The shield buff's equal to 20% of this champion's max HP, so at least we can scale it. Hopefully it has a really good base HP that we can scale pretty high. And that's a 4-turn cooldown. That's a really good immunity cleanser ability, kind of like a Hawkhorn Smash Lord. You absorb what your opponents do, and then you go ahead, cleanse everything, and place a block debuffs, and then you can also get a shield. So a really good like tag team arena defensive type champion here. Place a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever HP falls below 30%. It's a nice little passive get out of jail free card there. Increase ally resistance in all battles by 40. So Yeah, remember, this is an epic champion, so we can't grade as harshly. I'm gonna give this an A. Not quite A plus, but I'd be definitely close. I think this is really good for an epic champion. The AoE buff stealing, not just buff strip. And then that like scale of the ages, A3, is really good. AoE cleanse and block debuffs for 2 turns and a shield that we can scale with their HP. Yeah, I think an A is justified here for Scathix, the new epic. And we've got a hippopotamus coming to the game here with Hofferes the Tusked, a new epic for the Skinwalkers. The A1, attack one enemy 2 times, each hit with a chance of placing a stun, and we can get the decent amount of buff chance there. Multi-hitter, and we can get this up to what, 35%? 10, 20, 30%. Okay, so 30%. Multi-hitter A1 stun. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Increase attack buff and 30% increase crit rate on all allies for 2 turns. It's all right. Then we've got revive 2 random allies with 50% HP, further turn meter by 50%, and after revival places a strengthen buff on all allies. So it looks like we'll only do that if a revive is justified. But okay. Yeah, pretty solid. Skinwalkers can use revive for sure. So I think that'll be a pretty solid champion for Faction Wars. You got the A1 stun and some revive, and then also making your team more sturdy after the revive. So okay, I'll go like a B. Fills a role in the game, will help out with Skinwalkers. But is he insane or anything? No, not really. And now we're getting into the rares, so we're probably almost through the new champions here, but we've got a void rare for the Ogrein. I'll try to go through the rares a little bit quickly, unless I see something just crazy that deserves a deep dive. Attacks one enemy, heal the champion by 30%. Also heal the ally with the lowest HP by 10%. That's okay for an A1 for a rare. Place a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns, equal. So it's only them, and then ally protect. So a rare that with some ally protect ability here will also heal all allies except this champion. 3-turn cooldown, not bad. Decreased damage, all allies received by 5%. This champion. Okay, so a built-in bulwark passive. That's cool. I like that. So pretty solid for a rare. Ally defense and faction wars by 21%. So okay, a pretty decent early to mid game option for Ogre and Tribe progression. So as far as a rare is concerned, I'd give this like a B plus. It's not going to be Cold Heart or Apothecary or anything, but yeah, B plus, pretty decent for a rare. Then another rare for the Demon Spawn Hellborn Sprite. The A1 has a decent chance of placing a weaken for 2 turns. Then we're going to hit one enemy 3 times on a 3-turn cooldown. Heal reduction, and his magic affinity. So this will be a really good early to mid game option for the Spirit Keep. Going to be definitely S tier for early mid game Spirit Keep with the weaken and the heal reduction there. Then increase the duration of an ally buffs by 1 turn. Then increase. Okay, so yeah, pretty niche. Gonna really, like I said, just be useful early mid game for the Spirit Keep. Other than that, I don't see anything really good here, so I'd go like a C. Then a rare for the Shadowkin Odachi. Took A1 provoke. Then we got an AoE 3-turn cooldown. Place shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. It's only this champion. Then we got place block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. Also 30% increased defense on all allies on a 3-turn cooldown. Not bad for a rare. This one I'd go like because you get the increased defense and the block debuffs, but block debuffs is only 1 turn. Block debuffs, the difference between being 1 turn and 2 turns is massive. So, and then but we do have the A1 provoke, decent. I'd go like C plus B minus. In terms of a rare champion, not trash, not awesome. Then another Shadowkin rare here, and I think this is the last one. Yep, okay. So Assassin for the Shadowkin, 1 enemy. Okay, early game Poisoner. We get A1 Poison, so a good early game clan boss champion possibly here. Of increasing the duration of, oh, okay. And you get, so yeah, this champion was definitely designed with early game clan boss in mind. Okay, cool. So we're going to have a pretty decent chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown, and then attack 1 enemy and place the baby version of weaken. Ally speed in all battles by 10%. So yeah, again, I'd go like a B. Pretty decent early game clan boss option, but will definitely fall off in the mid to end game. They're not going to hold up with a bunch of value there. So I'd go like a B because at least, fills some sort of role here for the Shadowkin. Then the last thing we've got here is quality of life improvements. Champion Index will display champion names under their avatar, making it easier to navigate. Okay, that's pretty cool. Sort by rank will become the default for the pre-battle selection screen. Okay, I'd say that's fair because that's probably what people select the most. Then champion rarity filter will become available in the champion collection, tavern, and champions. Okay, cool. An option to keep auto battle on by default will be added. Oh, oh my goodness. That's epic. That's worth stopping here and talking about. An option to keep auto battle on by default will be added to all arena and clan boss battles. It will appear as a checkbox on the champion selection screen. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. This is exactly what I said they should implement because some people want that, some people don't. This can only be a good thing. Like some of you like to burn through and just auto all of your arena battles, and it's really annoying to have to click auto every single time. Now you can just check a box. Default auto, GG. Amazing. Love this quality of life change. I've been clamoring for that for 2 years. We got it. Thank you, Plarium. Players of level 50 and higher will get a button that allows them to access the last campaign. Oh my god, I've been asking for that too. Here we go. Now we're talking. I've been saying, like, when we click battle, it should like show your last thing you did. And you should just be able to click it right there. Or even on the main screen. Just like repeat the last thing you did. So if you were in the dragon, if you were in the arena, just go to the last place you were. In the campaign, whatever. Just a hyper jump to the last place you were. It looks like they're doing something kind of like that. Level 50 and higher. I don't know why it has to be level 50 and higher. It should just be like a thing. But I digress. We're making progress here. We'll get a button that allows them to access the last played campaign location with a single tap. That should be accessing XP farming locations faster. Okay, so it's not exactly what I wanted or what I would have done or what I recommended, but it's a step in the right direction. I like that change. That'll be nothing but a good thing. It's just more options to kind of get through the game for the player there. Total team power for arena, classic, and tag team will be displayed in the battle and the battle log tabs. Okay, more information. Why not? I'll take it. All right, awesome. I can't wait until that goes live. Definitely some cool changes and should make the game better if that stuff is implemented properly and doesn't cause like crashes and maintenance and all that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, should be a pretty good patch and I'll definitely dive in more to how exactly all the preset, the team names, and different things work once we actually have it live in game. Then in terms, just to get you caught up on what is going on in game really quickly, obviously the 12th anniversary event, that was kind of a huge letdown. Unfortunately, we're not really getting the player base to fight for Draco here and have some fun doing that, but for those of you that are going hard to get Fane for an unkillable comp or something, there you go. You got a couple days left here on the champ training to go ahead and get after that. For most of you out there, you may want to think about getting to 4750 just because 10 core hammers is kind of hard to get your hands on. So not a bad time to at least scoop up a few points in there. The Ice Golem tournament is the last day for that. It's a pretty normal one. I wouldn't go crazy on this unless your group is super realistic to win some Relentless gear. But I wouldn't get in a whale war here fighting for number one because we do have a fusion coming up here in a few days. So not a bad time to kind of catch your breath a little bit. But after that, we'll have a Spider tournament launching and then a Classic Arena Takedown launching. So let's go under the Events tab here and get you caught up there. Dungeon Diver is going to be ending tomorrow, basically. And again, at least get to 1600, scoop up the core hammers, and the Artifact Enhancement event, same thing. You want to at least get to 1000 to scoop up core hammers. And we're in a clan versus clan match right now, so if your CVC is winnable, you definitely want to focus on that because you've got about 17 hours as of me recording this. You know, run in there, at least get to the highest tier you can for your clan, so not a bad time to kind of do all this different stuff in the game. Also, wanted to throw out a quick reminder that the Doom Tower only has a couple days left. You can't see it, but it says 2 days and 20 hours. See if I back out 2 days and 20 hours. So this is the team that I used on the final boss, just in case you were curious. I did clear mine, but I've got a couple secret rooms to focus on yet. So definitely pay attention to that because you've only got a couple days left. Now let's fire up the shop and see if we've got any offers. By the way, this weekend should be a 10x that we find out about somewhat soon. Like within the next 24 hours, I would expect us to know what this weekend's summoning event is going to be. It should be a 10x. As soon as I know more, I'll try to let you know more as well. Monthly, mini, you know the drill there. We don't want cruel gear. I think they are coming down on these prices at least. I swear the 6-star gear used to be 15, even if it was rare, but still not the price there that I would recommend buying. But here we go, daily pack. We've got 40, and we've got 7 days of XP, 7 million silver, and then 1,400 gems. 1.72, and it's over the course of a few days, so yeah, not going to be a recommend from me. Contender pack. Let's go 50. None of this here. We've got 10 arena refills. Let's just call it 15, because we'll plug in the tag team with it there. 3 4-stars and 2 5-stars, and then 5 and 5 on the tomes. 1.80. A pretty decent offer for high spenders, but for some of the more value spenders, I would say $50 is too much for this here. Pack string. If I remember right, this was like a 1.8 something when you plug all of them in. I don't remember the whole string, even if it is the normal one. But it doesn't start out super hot, if I remember right, because you've got the 10 for the 850, and then the 5 energy refills. Yeah, 1.27. That's pretty low. So yeah, I wouldn't go down the path here on the energy. So nothing super exciting in my opinion in the shop today, unfortunately. Alrighty, that'll do it for what I wanted to cover in this Raid Shadow Legends wrap-up for you. If you want to check out this post over here for yourself, I'll link to it down below in the pinned comment so you can find it and read through this stuff on your own if you'd like to pull it up on your end. But otherwise, if you're watching this video right away when it comes out, I'll be over on stream for the next few hours hanging out, talking about all this stuff, playing some Raid, and just kind of kicking it with you guys. So if you're watching this video right away, link down below to my stream if you want to hang out. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. And as always, thank you for watching. Peace.